up money's not something that's free. Seems the roll of the dice never rolls back to me. And it's already gone. A bird in my hand, 2 cans in the other, start spinning around. Now here comes another, and it's already gone. And here comes the feeling when you don't got nothing, and all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hang long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, is life's too short to be worried about you hurting for long. Oh, it's already gone. And all you want to do is get up and start running. You can't hang long cause you know it's gonna start up again. Here's one thing that I know for certain, is life's too short to be worried about you hurting for long. Well, it's already gone. Already gone. It's already gone. Gone.
Up, Jags fans, here we go. We are week 6 already in the books. We got some film breakdowns ready for tonight. So tonight, since it's a short week, I think we have to do film breakdown and then Saints preview. But you guys know me. When I start looking through the film, I end up clipping so many plays that it ends up taking longer than it should. You know how it goes around here. If it's your first time here, we do live shows every Tuesday and Friday. We do live shows. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. That way you get notifications when we go live. Sometimes we do random shows, but this is a fan-based show. So get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let's talk about what you think about the game. Let's talk about what you think about the Saints. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence's knee, right? Obviously, it's a thing. So I feel like all of us collectively know the same amount about that, which is nothing, right? But we can talk about it for sure. I do want to get to some of these clips, though, because this Jags-Colts game was one of my favorite games I've been able to watch, because the offense was clicking, the defense was clicking. We're all ready to go. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Follow the Twitter, follow the Instagram, and in the channel description, there's my Twitch. I go on Twitch a couple times a week and do random stuff, so you can check that out if you want to. Rico is the first one in the chat. Now, he's the first one in my chat, so that's who gets the shout-out. So Rico says, what's up? Well, what's up, man? I'm feeling good. Like, my work schedule, I think, as of Monday night at 10 p.m., is taking a major dip, so I have more time for you guys. So hopefully I'll be doing more YouTube stuff and shows. Now I'm not having to work as much. So my busy season has come to an end, and I'm very happy, and I hope you can tell by my demeanor that I am very relaxed. I don't have much stress in my life anymore. We're hanging out here, having a great Tuesday night. So thanks for asking. What's up, Rico? A Sharpshooter says, hey, Rico says LFG. 100 miles per hour is the first channel member in the chat. And he says hi. I love it. I love it. Matthew McCrae says, yeah, okay, before we get to the comments, one thing I got to get off my chest here. I saw this, this tweet, right before I was going to start this show. Obviously, this was posted at 7:25. So it's been out for a little bit, but, I just now saw this. Colts nose tackle Grover Cleveland. Jesus, that's the president. Oh, God, someone help me. Grover Stewart is one of the NFL's top NFL run stoppers. Has been suspended without pay for 6 games for violating the league's substance policy. Oh, man, don't do it on PEDs. Don't do it, Grover. Don't do it. There was one play that I did not clip, and I almost clipped it. Because one of my points I want to make is that Brenton Strange is kind of coming into his own, a little bit. The touchdown obviously was big. He had some crucial blocks in this game. I like the way that Brenton Strange is trending. There was one play though where Grover Stewart knifed through the A gap. I can't remember. I didn't want to go. I can't remember when the clip was, so I didn't want to go back through and find it. But I want to say he threw Brenton Strange with one hand and then made a tackle at the line of scrimmage and flexed. And I was like, dang, dude, who's number 90? That's what I asked. I couldn't remember who it was. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I see this and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, PEDs. What do you expect? What do you expect? All right, sorry. Let me get into some of these comments here. DJM says Jaguars offense is here. How is Trevor's leg? I don't know. I'm not sure. Shay, who's a channel member, who's got some probably some good comments loaded up. If we know anything about Shay, it's Shay has well thought out his comments. They're going to be very coherent and they're going to be very logical. His first comment is victory stream. Let's make it 2 victory streams in 1 week. You know I'm going to be out here on Friday night just freaking partying if we win with CJ Beathard at quarterback. All right, let's get to the film. People watch these for the film. I'll get to the comments, but people watch these for the film, and we got to show it. Okay. Typically I have a thesis statement or a main idea, if you will, about what I think went right. So I had a couple of different things. I didn't really boil it down to one or the other. Obviously, the defense is just balling out, but we got to stop. We got to start with the offense when we go to the full film and what I like, because I think and here's why I'm going to do it first, because what I think we did best in the Colts game, I think we need to do best in the Saints game, and I'm going to expound on that a little bit more. But before we do any of that, and we are 8 minutes in, so if you're still here, God bless you. Before we get into any of that, though, I would like to first remove this chat from the screen here, because you're gonna need the whole screen for this. And typically I like to break down what's happening with the play, the X's and O's, if you will. That's what people like. But for this play, I don't think I'm going to say very much. I think all I'm going to do is just circle. Just going to circle one guy. It's number 45. I'm just going to circle number 45. That's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to circle number 45. That's it. And I'm going to play it out. Number 45. Number 45. I mean, do I need to circle him again for some of you guys? I didn't catch it. I will. I'm not afraid. 45. Not gonna say anything. All right, we previewed the. I can't show this strange touch. I want to show this strange touchdown first because we were talking about him. There's a couple of things I need to show before I show that. All right, so here's what the Jags are kind of starting to get really good at. And look, here's the thing. I hope Trevor plays. I really do. Like, I want him to play. At the end of the day, is the most important game that Trevor plays in is against the 3-3 New Orleans Saints in the NFC, who are underperforming and have had one of the worst schedules in the NFL as far as opponents on a Thursday night. Is Trevor playing in that game my biggest priority? It's not. It's not. And the second thing is, if they're able to do this type of play and this type of offense, which they're doing against multiple teams, we saw this same type of misdirection type offense against the Bills. But when they're able to do this type of stuff, I think you can win with Beathard against the Saints. And the coaches may be thinking that. They may not. Again, I don't know. Again, we all know nothing. But let me show this first play here. Okay, so, I like this split back personnel. So we're going to call this 21 personnel because they have 2 running backs and they have 1 tight end. So Evan Ingram's probably out here somewhere, but we're going to call this 21. Watch what they do on this play. Okay, so they're going to take the ball. They're going to do a pre-snap motion from Jamal Agnew. Okay, so if you take a look, this corner is like, hey, man, get some space, widen out, because there could be a jet sweep here. So he's pulling one person out of the box, which is good here, okay? So then they're going to keep the play. They don't hand it to him. Because of that jet sweep, look at what you've done here with this backside defensive players. Like, their job, when you're a defensive coach, you're teaching these guys, like, you cannot let anybody outside you are the contained player. You're the force player. You force everything back to the field. They probably took a chance being on the hash here, and so they just can't let anything outside of their outside shoulder. This could be Agnew or this could be Trevor on a read option. But now look what you've been able to do. So let's count the Jaguar players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's count the Colts players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if everybody does what they're supposed to do as far as their blocking assignment, in theory, the run here should be open. Okay, again, hat on a hat football, you got to block. Great job. We'll freeze it here. Fortner does just enough to seal his player, just enough. Evan Ingram does a good job blocking this backside force player. You're going to see the double team here on the D tackle. This is we got to take a look here. Who is this? Has to be Shatley pulling from there, right? Oh no, yeah, that's Sheriff pulling. Look at this guy. We should have known he was pulling. Look how he's lined up. He's gonna pull. He's obviously like a yard in the backfield, so that's pretty obvious there. He's gonna pull. Nice job there. Brenton Strange gets a block out in space. So again, doesn't go for a lot of yards, but you saw what we call window dressing. A lot of window dressing there, okay? So this is the very next play. Again, imagine you're a Colts defensive player. You just saw all this happen. This is the very next play, okay? And I like it from this side angle a little bit better. Okay, so now we're going to see they're lined up in a tight formation. Looks like they have 2 tight ends and 1 running back end, so 12 personnel. Tight end. Sorry, not tight end. This is tight end here. Tight personnel. The Colts are going to have, all their guys inside the box. Again, we're hat on hat football. Pre-snap motion. Now we got a play action. Not only do we have a play action, we leaked out Brenton Strange out of the backfield. When I was saying Brenton Strange is kind of coming into his own, like, take a look here. Again, you have the fake jet sweep, which is going to freeze your backside player. It's the exact same play. You're going to have now Brenton Strange is going to fake block and then release. You have an inside run here. So again, you're doing the window dressing again. By the time the Colts realize that you're passing the ball, easy play right here. Look where he gets. All right, great job there. And then final play here after they've run that. Okay, so they just ran all those plays. Here they go. Maybe they had a penalty. Maybe it's a different play. I don't know. It's a different play because ETN scores on this one. I don't want to show this play at all here. All right, so they end up scoring on that play. I didn't clip it. Okay, got some good plays here, but yeah. So they end up scoring on that play. And you're going to see more misdirection here. And again, if they can run that misdirection, I think they're okay whether they have Beth, because that's not a difficult throw. And if I have Trevor's like throwing chart here. Take a look at this. Look at this. So this is Trevor's throwing chart, okay? And we handedly defeated the Colts. And take a look at what he had to do. Over 20 yards, he was 1 for 3. Okay. I think Beathard could go 1 for 3 from over 20 yards. Let's take a look at over 10 yards. Okay. You may be thinking over 20 is a lot. Let's go for over 10. 2 for 5 from 10 to 20. Now let's take a look from 0 to 10. All right. 8, 9, 10, 4, 12. So this is not an insanely hard stat line to keep up with if you are CJ Beathard. Again, they ran the ball very effectively. They checked it down. They blocked it well. The defense played well. If you can replicate that same performance against the Saints, you could win this game with Beathard. Now, again, in my mind, I'm just thinking how valuable Lawrence is to me as a franchise player. And like when I back the scope up a lot and I look at this one game, like in a vacuum, this one Thursday night game on the road against the Saints, against an NFC team, at the end of the day, like, how important is that game? You can make the argument for morale, momentum, maybe. And maybe this is just a pain tolerance injury. And so it's just like, if Trevor can go, then let's go. Then in that case, let's go. But if we're going to err on the side of caution, this is the game to do it. Not to mention the Saints have a lot of injured players. A lot of teams are battling with this quarterback injury issue. Really, I mean, I think there's 9 teams I heard on the NFL Ringer podcast today. 9 teams had backup quarterbacks take snaps last week. That's a third of the NFL. So, something to think about. CJ Beathard, and again, I might be backed up on comments here, but I'll get to as many as I can. Ben Haney says we can't afford to take an L against the Saints. Houston plays Carolina next week. If we lose and they win, then we're out of first place. Okay, that's fair, Ben Haney. Mr. October says, yo, I made one of these finally. Hey, Jason. What's up, Mr. October? Volk Fang, channel member, says 45 sighting, remain calm. Matthew McCray says CJ Beathard looked okay in preseason, but I don't know if we win this with him. The Saints have our number. DJM says hopefully Carolina gets their first dub on Sunday. Well, maybe. I would love to have have an all ETN backfield. Both are beasts. Strange is developing into a playmaker, says Robert Atzer. Matthew McCray says cover 3 beater on that play, driving the zone deep. I like that, Matthew McCray. You're taking my job, Matthew. Jaggernaut says, let's see Rourke. Sucks Campbell is hurt. Yeah, Tyson Campbell is a big injury because he's a beast. 100 miles per hour, channel member 100 miles per hour, says, the NFL as a whole is dealing with injury issues. Good point. KJ says, hey, been a while since I caught a live show. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good too. He says, what do you think of covering Olave and Thomas without Tyson? You guys are making me get to my Saints film, and I'm not ready to get there. But here's a play I clipped from last game against the Texans. And again, keep in mind, the Saints lost to the Texans. And I know the Texans beat us. But I think if we played the Texans again, we would beat them handedly. I think it was just a mixture of us having a bad game and them having a good game. And call me naive, that's fine. But this is what Olave can do, and this is a good play. He's going to – I mean, that's a hard route to cover. This is a lot like the way Calvin Ridley runs routes, to be completely honest with you guys. This is a lot like how Calvin Ridley runs routes. He gets you on this inside leverage, makes you flip your hips because you're worried he's going to run a vertical. Once your hips are flipped, he shoots to the out. Carr has enough time to wait for that to develop, and then you're toast. I mean, take a look here. I mean, the NFL runs. I mean, every team in the NFL runs this defense nowadays. That's a good play. That's a good play. Another thing we're going to have to worry about is Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is a much better running back than we've faced. I know Jonathan Taylor's a good back on paper, but Alvin Kamara is dangerous. Obviously, they can hit us on the inside like this because he's good at finding the gap. He's very explosive. He accelerates through the gap. Another thing that he can do is he can be a good receiver out of the backfield. And I like the way Aluakon's been playing, and Devin Lloyd even looked pretty good last week. But Kamara is special as a receiving back. So if we take a look here, just to drop down to Kamara. And this is where our linebackers have had trouble tackling. But if they can consistently do this against us, again, like, I trust our defense. They've been playing really well, but there's just aspects of this Saints offense that are unlike what we've seen so far, which is the only thing that worries me. Let's get Shay's comments, because Shay's the only one here that knows what he's talking about. He says Trevor is playing. Watch his press conference. He's 100% playing. Okay, Shay, and like, you're probably right, but what's the probability? And you know, we're statistics guys. What's the probability Trevor starts this game and doesn't finish? Because it's not 0, and it's probably not below 25. So what's our contingency plan? They have to have it. I mean, from the world, obviously Beathard's getting all the snaps this week with Trevor being limited, or the DNP he got today. Shay goes on to say, also, Beathard basically said Trevor was playing. 100 miles per hour just wants to go out and just say Mike Thomas is washed. What happened to Tyson, says TJM? He has a hamstring injury. It's not blown. It's not blown 100 miles per hour. C Breacher. What up, C Breacher? Channel member says, yo, why didn't I get the notification? Well, you were probably, this is probably why you get the notification. You probably were so desperate to get your Rainbow Six rank up that you were watching a YouTube video probably from a couple years ago on the best operators to use and in what situations that you probably missed the notification. But you know what? I'm rooting for you in that Rainbow Six rank climb campaign that you were on. KJ says, great time to get Smoot back. Yeah, Smoot played pretty decent. We got more clips from the last game. I know I went to the Saints game because I can't help it, boys. I can't help it. Timothy Connor says, call up the Canadian killer, Nathan Rourke. Oh, you know he's going to be there. You know he's going to be there. Ben Haney says, do you think ETN will be in his head returning to the place that almost ended his career? Wow, way to remind everyone about that we totally forgot about, Ben Haney. No one remembered that until you brought that up. C Breacher says that was scary accurate. I got you, C Breacher. I got you. 100 miles per hour says, I want to see Devon Hamilton play. So he was a full member of practice today. I'm with you. I think that Devon Hamilton playing is going to be massive, even though this team's been playing good. Balefire. What up, Balefire? He says in the chat, Duval to all from Mississippi. Huh. You and the Manning family, maybe. Matthew McCray, I wish we had taken Josh Downs. Dude is going to be scary. Yeah, Josh Downs is good. Josh Downs is good. All right, can I show you one of my favorite plays here? I like this play a lot. Mainly because I'm a man that likes to take ownership of his actions and words. And if you're someone that is hesitant to be accountable for your actions, that's okay. But I hope I can encourage you that the true sign of maturity is taking accountability for your actions. So I will be the first example as someone that was a little quick to write off Cam Robinson. Like, I thought this team wouldn't have a major drop-off without Cam Robinson. And, you know, we all saw Walker Little play. Tyler Shatley's probably the best backup left guard in the league, and I do not mind saying that. But Cam Robinson's actually kind of a dude, bro. Like, he is actually kind of a dude, and he is very intimidating. He's good for the culture, and he's pretty good. So here we're going to see Cam Robinson, and again, I'm a guy that's got to own up. I got to own up for what I said. That's the tight end. I also can't draw. Cam Robinson, biggest guy on the line. Watch him here. Like, this is one of my favorite plays. I mean, not much to break down as far as like Jaguars scheme. I mean, we could talk about his like pull step here, but I mean, come on, who are we kidding? That's not what I like about it. Just finds work here. Watch him find work in this corner. I know this guy's half his size, but watch him here. Watch 74. Just pancakes the guy, gets up, and just flexes on him. Like, what the Jags have been missing on their offensive line from week 1 until now is this. It's this right here. And I don't care how you cut it, dice it, slice it. I promise you from the bottom of my heart, this is what the Jags offensive line has been missing. A dude that looks for work in space can actually get both hands on a guy who can beat you with speed, like a defensive back, pancake you into the ground, and then flex on you after I get up. Like, I can take responsibility for what I said. When you watch the Jags offensive line through the beginning of the season, you were like, man, something's missing. Like, the line's good on paper. They have a lot of experience. Like, what's not clicking? It's they haven't had that dude that'll flex on you when they pancake you. And there's no analytic, there's no PFF, there's nothing that could really give you this as a stat. But the offensive line has had a tremendous improvement since Cam Robinson's been back. Tremendous. Look at Travis Etienne's ability to run the ball. Look at Trevor Lawrence's time in the pocket. Now, is it ideal? No. But I promise you, boys, I promise you, I would not blow smoke up your know what. I wouldn't. This is what we've been missing. And I personally am excited to have this back. And I'm looking forward to it. Can we take a look at one of my other favorite plays? And I know you guys have probably seen this, but again, the Jags have so much versatility. We saw the window dressing, the play action, the misdirection. We saw that. Typically, you have Calvin Ridley up here, Kirk, Zay Jones. Not very often do you have Evan Ingram up here. Okay, you're going to have him isolated on a corner at the top of the numbers. I mean, this is. I mean, listen, boys, we're on the right hash, and he's outside the left numbers. So you are intentionally isolating Evan Ingram. This is why we don't classify him as a tight end, okay? Because tight ends don't have this move. They don't have the stutter step to make you think he's going to run either an in or an out, so you kind of hesitate as a corner, right? He does the little stutter step, and he's going to do a stutter step, and then just see ya, run the fade. Like, you don't see very many tight ends that can do this type of play. So, let's take a look here. I mean, perfect throw against the cover two. The one-handed catch. I mean, this is, again, perfect throw, perfect catch, nothing you can do about it. But it's the route that gets you there because in reality, like this safety does a very good job, okay? So if we take a look at pre-snap here, you guys know I'm going to get way too deep into this because that's what I do. Pre-snap, they're going to end up being in a cover two, which Gus Bradley does not do very often. So this was pretty surprising to me. Cover two, so basically he's responsible for half of the field deep. I think everyone knows what a cover two is. So he has threats from basically two and the one wide receiver. It's not very likely that he's going to have a backside receiver as a threat. It's not very likely he's going to have a running back as a threat. So basically he has to read what's called 2 to 1, right? So some coaches call this pattern match. Some coaches call this palms coverage. There's all different names for it. But essentially what he's going to do as a safety is he is reading this 2 receiver. Okay, if the 2 receiver does anything but vertical, okay, if he does anything but vertical, because to run a corner, you still have to get vertical for a while. So if he does anything but vertical, which could be a drag, out, curl, it could be any of these routes. If he does any other route besides vertical, the safety knows that his only responsibility is the number 1 receiver. This is how a good defensive back wins the snap pre-snap. So watch what the 2 does here. The 2 receiver curls. Okay, so now this safety who's already drifting to his half of the field, he is pattern matching. He sees the curl. He sees the out by Etienne. So he knows his only threat is to cover this 1 wide receiver. Okay, this corner does a really good job in this cover 2 to kind of force him to the sideline. So there's going to be a very small gap right here that Trevor can make this throw. Obviously, because I mean, that's as tight as a window as it gets. I think my monitor's closer than yours, but this is the window. That's the window. So that's why it has to be a one-handed catch and grab. Great job by Evan Ingram. That's what he gives you. Listen, while we're on an Evan Ingram love fest, I don't think we need to break down like the formation, the 10 personnel, trips right, pre-snap motion to Ridley. Look at this. Got him. Just got him. And this is 3rd down. He does not convert the 3rd down. But this is the type of thing that he does. I mean, how many times did we see him last year fight for yards to get a 1st down? It's good. Love it. Love it. I don't care if we get a first down. Think I care about a first down? I'm just kidding. Let me get to some of these chat comments here. Sean R. says, Jags versus Saints, both teams going to have some injuries. Will it make a difference in the outcome? So the Saints have a lot more injuries, but the Jags have potentially a quarterback injury, which could mean more, but it could not. Like I said, I think if we can run the ball, we can keep running. I would imagine that the play calls are very similar with Beathard. They'll probably just lean on Evan Ingram and ETN more, but Evan Ingram and ETN have shown that they can step up every game. So that's why I'm not worried if Beathard plays. And I know everyone's saying Trevor's going to play, and that's fine. Good, Trevor play. If Trevor play, here's the reality. If Trevor plays, is he better than Beathard? Yes. But does Beathard and Trevor now have the same like mobility in the pocket? Yes. So all those quarterback sprints, those designed rollouts, you might not see those as much if he's injured. So regardless of who's quarterback, you're going to have to lean on ETN and Ingram. And I think they can carry the load and the defense. I think we're okay against the Saints. So regardless. I wonder how many calories Cam eats daily. Got to be 5K plus. Yeah, I mean, those guys get like protein shakes like handed to them like after practice that are probably almost 2K calories. Robert Harrington says Cam is nasty, which they desperately need. Gotta love a mean offensive line. Oh, nasty, mean offensive line. You'll love to see it, says Hashem. 100 miles per hour says Anton was like that in college. I don't know what happened. It was probably just adjusting to the NFL. He's actually been pretty good lately. Volkfang channel member says, I got to drive to work, but I just got to say Jags, the best team. Duval. I love it, Volkfang. And when we get a Walker Little at guard, the O-line may be way better. Shay says that pregame speech Cam gave before the game was awesome. Shay, you're always 2 steps ahead of me. You really are, because I watched that earlier today, like a little bit before the show started, and I was just like, I love Cam Robinson. A lot of obscenities, though, I will say. I'll forgive him, though. I'll forgive him. C. Breacher says, is Cisco a top 5 safety? Yes, C. Breacher. You know the answer to that is yes. Matthew McCray, we definitely miss Zay in the red zone. There was one play, I didn't clip it, where he tried to throw, he rolled out and tried to throw it to Kirk in the back of the end zone, and Kirk was open, and I think Evan Ingram ended up getting his hands up there and like kind of making it hard to catch because it was distracting. But I remember thinking if Zay Jones was in, he would have caught that. I like this play too. When I got home from work, I started clipping this video, and I don't remember this play when I was at the game for some reason. Maybe because I was just like caught up in the moment. I didn't realize that ETN was lined up at quarterback. And I started watching the film, and I found this play, and I was like, why is no one talking about the fact that ETN scored his touchdown from Wildcat? And literally, I opened up Twitter and like Reddit, and like every post is about that. So I was like, oh, I'm just late. But love this play. Like this should give us a little bit more hope, if anything, if Trevor doesn't play, because we can just line up ETN. Because it's one thing for you to be a Derrick Henry, right? A Derrick Henry gets the ball and just power. Maybe he runs a sweep, maybe. My boy ETN is running the read option. Travis Etienne, who on their bingo card had Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby running read option when they drafted Tank Bigsby in the 3rd round? Who had that? I feel like a freaking owl. Who had that on their bingo card? That Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby are running read option. I love it, Dougie. I love it. You know why I love it? Because my boy scores a touchdown. Great blocking. Get out in space. Look at this. I mean, Fortner's gotten a lot of hate because of his whatever. It hasn't been great. My boy gets out in space and blocks here. Okay, let's give him a little bit of credit. Look at him. Like nobody. Look, watch 25. Like please. Like if you want to know what it's like for a offensive lineman to be able to block a defensive back, okay. Watch 25. Just watch 25, the Colts player here. Watch him when he sees Fortner coming at him. He's starts backing up. He says, no, bro, like, I'm actually, like, good. I'm good. Watch him. Yeah. He even puts his hand out. Like, look, watch this. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Let me just, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, coach. I would have pulled his flag if he was flag football. Oh, man. Game plan for Mike Thomas is just let him do whatever he wants. He's going to drop it anyways. Gosh. Fat Boy Shot says, I'd sit Trevor versus the Saints. Give him more rest for the 49ers. Shay says Devon Hamilton's been a full participant, coming soon to an already a beast of a run defense. He's going to be a huge addition. I agree with you, Shay. You remember Cam also standing around the last year at the point where it pissed me off? Yes. Yes, I do, Robert. Could he have made an improvement this offseason? I hope. Matthew McCray says, I'll be at the Jags game on the 31st of December. Any recommendations for places to eat/drink before the game? All right, so is that a 1 o'clock game? Christmas Eve game is a 1 o'clock game, right? How many days are you going to be here? It's a 1 o'clock game against the Panthers. So how many days are you going to be here is the question. If you're going to be here just for that day, I would go to some places like in near the stadium. It's an area called Riverside. This is going to sound like super weird, and I'm not going to like get into it too much. But I live in like what's called Jacksonville Beach. Okay, so I'm about 40 to 45 minutes from the stadium. If you're a beach person like me, born and raised a beach person, we stay at the beach. We never leave the beach. We have everything we need here. We have every store here. We're good. I couldn't honestly give you a recommendation for where to go on game day before the game. There's a nice little bar across the street called Intuition, which is usually really crowded. They have good beer, good food. The lines are a little long, but there'll be a lot of Jags fans there. Tailgates are probably your best bet if you're going pregame. If you're going to be here the night before or you're staying the night after, get out to the beach, man. Get out to the beach. They have restaurants, sports bars, nightlife, whatever you're into. And it's all at the beach, which is way better than in town. That's all I'll say about that. If you're a townie, I'm sorry. 100 miles per hour says Etienne's a better quarterback than Tana Pick. Brilliant play. If Ben Haney says, if you're the D coordinator this week, how would you game plan around Olave, Thomas, and Rashid? So with Campbell out, like you would maybe think about changing your coverages typically. Mike Caldwell's done blitzes a lot. He blitzes a lot. So we're in a lot of man on the backside in that coverage. I think he's going to keep it. Listen, I think Kamara's going to get his. I think Olave's going to get his. But I think regardless of that, they can still get there. I mean, because look, Michael Pittman had a good game. Had a touchdown. He had a decent game, and we still beat them pretty good. So I think the key players can still get their yards, and we still win. So I would stay in what we do. This cover 3, maybe a tight cover 1 and press. 8-man in the box. Make teams throw on us. I trust the back 6. I really do. XD Gamer says Duval. C Breacher says Jack's Beach is the best place to live. I agree. I will never leave unless someone offers me a bunch of money to leave. I guess Cam got his mojo back. Good PEDs. I always stay at Jack's Beach where my family is. Nice. That's where I grew up, born and raised, Matthew McCray. Cam Royd Rage. Saints offensive line is dinged up of time for the defense. We can say, I didn't want to spend this much time on the Saints, but I really don't care. It seems like y'all care more about the Saints than the film, which I'm fine with. I just wasn't that prepared. So here's the PFF. Eric is from last game against the Texans. Their center graded out pretty well. Olave graded out pretty well. Their tackle graded out pretty well. Rashid Shaheed. Only played in half the. Oh, this is for the season. Sorry, for the season. I was only played in half the snaps. Kamara has been good. Kendra Miller has been really good. Very good. They're not a bad team. They're not a bad team at all. Jack's Beach Snobs Unite. Oh, Josh is getting a little tilted. Josh is getting a little tilted. Okay. Hey, listen. We're not. You want to hear how snobby I am, Josh? I'll even take your snob a step further. I moved to Ponte Vedra Beach. Born and raised in Jack's Beach. That's how snobby I am. I'm just kidding. Y'all know I'm not snobby, but I did move to Ponte Vedra Beach because I'm not an idiot. All right. Bro, I live in Orlando and travel to lots of Jags games. Listen, I live in Jacksonville and I travel to a lot of Orlando Magic games. What do you want to do, ex-gamer? You want to compare? I'm just messing with you guys. I'm getting a little fired up. I'm a little troll at heart. Montana just got here. Good evening, gentlemen. The first thing he hears is I'm a troll at heart. Matthew McCrae says, like the stream. Yeah, hit the thumbs up button. Say says, I live in Jack's Beach. Nice, me too. XD Gamer says, United likes the beach. LOL, I can sense your sarcasm, XD. 100 miles per hour says, Mike Thomas is the top 10. Laughing my face off. Professional something Thomas hater. There's like a weird thing there. All right. Well, we haven't shown any defensive clips. It's not good, boys. How about we go again? You guys know I like to pick weird plays. This is not like I have like Josh Allen's set strip sack and Cisco's INT. I have Darius Williams INT. I have that all loaded up. Those plays are boring. Okay, boring, and I'll show them. But this is the stuff that makes the Jaguars win right here. Okay, and it's stuff that you're not going to see on the highlight film. All right, I want to draw attention to my main man, Rayshawn Jenkins, another guy who I have been a little bit tougher on than maybe other people. But with the interception and then the interception that he had that was called back by a offside, so he should have had 2 interceptions. Even more than that, this is what I like. So what you're going to see here is the Colts are in 11 personnel. So they have 1 tight end and 1 running back. They're in gun. So everything is and I think this was in the second half. So I think everything is screaming pass play. And so if you're Rayshawn Jenkins, you're a smart defensive back, you're thinking pre-snap is going to be a pass play. So you're going to go he's going to backpedal and get into what is called his read steps, which is smart. But watch how he comes downhill and fills against the run. Okay, because again, this is what Rayshawn Jenkins has got to do if we're going to make a run. It's this type of play. Because Cisco's playing that free safety. He's got to be down here in the box. So watch him here. He gets into his read steps, which you got to do. He realizes it's a run play. Okay, and watch him come down and fit this gap. Like, that's a tackle for 0 right there. Like, that's the unsung hero play of the defense is this type of thing. Because, again, I use this term all the time. I call it hat-on-a-hat football. Okay? The offensive players have the exact amount of players blocking as the defensive players have assigned for the gaps and to stop the run. So for all these gaps here, we have the A gap, we have the B gap, we have the C gap, and we have the D gap, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go backside. He's backside. So they have 4 blockers for our 4 defensive players. So what has to happen is somebody has to win their point of attack. Either the O-line wins and the run works, or the defensive player wins and we stop them. Rayshawn Jenkins wins here. I can't talk, boys. Comes downhill. Great tackle in space. Squares up. Leads with the leading shoulder. Runs his feet through the tackle. I mean, this is just it, boys. I love it. We'll take a look at Josh Allen's strip sack. I think he's out here in the 7 tech. Yeah, 7, 9 tech. Don't argue with me in the comments. I don't care. It depends on who you ask. This is something I will point out. Interesting here. Typically, Josh Allen plays what's called the strong edge. The strong edge is whatever the defense declares as the strength. And Trevon Walker plays the weak side edge. Typically. I mean, I would say 95% of the snaps, this is what they play. On this play, the Colts have 2 tight ends lined up to the defense's left. They have Rayshon Jenkins, who's the strong safety, to the left. They have Aluakon, who's the Mike backer, to the left. And then the Jags have the free safety down here to the right. They have Devin Lloyd, who's the off-ball linebacker, to the right. They could be in an over front because they do have their nose tackle on the shade of the center here. But this is a good defensive call by Mike Caldwell to put Josh Allen on this weak side here, even though it's to the field. And watch what this call allows the Jags to do. So, yes, Josh Allen makes the play. But the call to put Josh Allen to the side he's not normally on this specific play, when the Colts run the strength to the opposite side, is what wins this. So good job, Mike Caldwell. Good job, Josh Allen. Beats the tackle pretty easily here with speed. Forces the strip sack. Ball's going the other way. That was a huge play in the game. Huge play in the game. It was early, first half. Jags, I think, had just scored a touchdown in response to the Colts field goal. And that Colts field goal, they had done a pretty good job driving the field. It was a pretty long drive. So for a moment there, you got to be honest with yourself. After that first Colts drive, you were probably thinking, oh no, Gardner Minshew's about to at least slice us up for yards. Massive. Professional Mike Thomas hater. That's what he said. Josh says United chat is better than 1010XL text line. I could do a whole show about my feelings about 1010XL, but I'm not going to. But I'm glad that you and me are kind of on the same page there, Josh. Robert Atzert says, dang, edited, Saints have more green on offense. And don't worry about that. Josh ain't wrong. Oh, you guys are all green here, huh? Montana says, pay Rayshon. We already did, Montana. He's been paid. Not only was he paid, we restructured his contract to give him the entire amount of his contract. So we took the guaranteed money and we said, hey, you know what? You're going to get that, and then you're going to get the rest of the contract. We did that already. Rayshon's paid. Shay says, Foye, Cisco, Allen need to be in the Pro Bowl conversation. And Logan Cook, what a punt he had to be 70 yards. Here's a question for you, Shay. And I'd love Shay to answer this. Let's just say Trevor gets ruled out. Hypotheticals. Trevor's ruled out. Beathard's the starter. Beathard has a serious case of the flu Wednesday night. Not able to play Thursday. So Nathan Rourke is now the quarterback. Again, all hypotheticals. After Nathan Rourke, who's the emergency quarterback? Because I know we saw ETN run at a Wildcat and score, but who's the real emergency quarterback? I think we all know the answer to that is Logan Cook. Christian Kirk also has got a little bit of experience at quarterback. Something to think about. Did Buster Brown actually play bad, or was it just some miscommunication stuff? Seems like he's getting the start this week. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. So Buster Brown did give up a touchdown. And for a guy who is pay Rashawn more, we paid Rashawn too much. We've seen Cook and Ridley both throw. Oh, Logan. I love it. Shay says Logan, says Logan. Okay. Buster Brown did give up the touchdown to Michael Pittman when we were into the game, kind of playing soft defense. You could give him, and that's why the PFF grades are going to hurt him. But I do like what he does on this play here. Okay. Is this the one? Yes, this is the one. Okay, so take a look. You can barely see it because it's the bottom of your screen. But essentially what's going to happen is and we're 49 minutes in, so I'm not going to spend too much time on these plays. But essentially you're going to see two receivers pretty much end up in the same spot. And then Gardner Minshew just kind of throw it to that spot. And then he just kind of overthrows that spot like he did all game. And then leads to a Cisco interception. But if you take a look, again, back to my original point. Why are there two receivers in this same spot? I think this 2 receiver does a good job getting where he's supposed to be. And I think this down here, receiver is supposed to do a vertical. But look what Buster Brown does at the snap. Now, Buster Brown was decent at this at Arkansas. We have a film breakdown of him. If you like scroll back in the archives, I think we have a film breakdown of Buster Brown maybe. But he actually kind of bullies this receiver to have to release his route to the middle of the field. We get pressure on Minshew. I think he feels it a little bit sooner than he needed to, but we get pressure on Minshew where he kind of forces a throw. So I credit the D-line and Buster Brown for making this play. Watch Buster Brown here. He's going to kind of beat him up at the line of scrimmage, make him release on the inside. So after looking back, it looks like that this receiver's route was supposed to be clearly an out, and his was supposed to be a backside post. And he just got bullied to the hash, and his out became literally in the same spot. Not a good throw. I'm not going to act like that Gardner Minshew didn't help us out here. Great play by Cisco. I think I have the reverse angle here. But Buster Brown's the guy that is in the press, in the nickel, forces the release that they don't want, worked together with the D-line, and you're going to see an interception. This is how you work together as a team. Look at this. If we go back, like, I'm trying to see where you can see. Okay, so my like fat head's in the way, but this group right here, they're going to end up getting all the way to the hash. He wanted a vertical release and an out, and look what Buster Brown did. That's what led to the interception. Well, not the interception, but it led to both guys being in the same spot. I mean, Gardner threw it before he was even looking. Again, he probably felt the pressure. I mean, no one's even looking at the ball. No one's even looking at the ball. Oh, man. Shatley for quarterback, says Montana. Shay says, big old lefty warms up throwing like 50-yard passes before every game. See, Shay, I knew it. We had actually talked about this before. That's why I knew you'd know. Josh Got Juice says, Monteric Brown is burnt toast. If Minshew would have thrown on him again instead of throwing the end zone Darius Williams interception, they had another touchdown. Let's see if you're right about that. Let's see if you're right about that. Disagree. Hard disagree. Hard. Look at this. This is Monteric Brown. He's on the hip. You can't get better coverage than this. This is the better throw. Are you kidding me? If he throws it actually to the pylon, doesn't throw off his back foot, that's a touchdown. Darius Williams' streak is over. You're telling me if Gardner doesn't throw the ball right here, it's not a touchdown? Versus Monteric Brown, who's on the hip? Not a chance. I don't know, man. Listen, I've been wrong before. A couple times here and there in life. I'm just kidding. I could be wrong. But to me, that looks like the better throw. Denny Airy says, Buster could be better than we think. We haven't needed to use him really since we drafted him, so this is a big week or two for him to show us what he's got. I'm not late. You're late, says Cali Jag. You're right, Cali Jag. I am late. Nazir Premier says, I appreciate you highlighting Brown. I was giving him flack the entire game, but didn't realize that he helped force the INT. Well, he did give up the touchdown. So I'm willing to kind of look past it because, again, it was he had the task of covering Michael Pittman, who's a good receiver. And Olave is a good receiver, and Michael Thomas is a good receiver. And every team has a good receiver. But I don't think he's as bad as people think. Hopefully, he'll be good, says Jag Juice. We'll miss Tyson dearly. That's a touchdown. 100 Miles Per Hour says, so we put Trey back outside for this game or put Buster outside? I think you put Buster outside. Herndon's been playing good in the slot. Poor Brown shouldn't even be one-on-one in coverage. Talking real ball right now, says Nasir Premier. The guy we signed to the practice squad is a dog, too. I need him elevated for game day. Another play we'll just add in here. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time because, again, we're almost to the end of the show here. Josh Allen, I thought does a pretty good job here. just got to give I'm not even on the clip. We got to give Josh Allen a little bit more credit than we did at the beginning of the season. If he's shown nothing, then it's that he is a top edge in the league. The sacks and the pressures and the hurries and the quarterback hits and the tackles for loss, to be honest with y'all, those all get skewed. And, like, I love PFF and stats. You guys know that. But they can only tell you so much. It's plays like this that kind of tell me the more of the story. There's not a lot of edges that can outrun a running back to the sideline. And, like, this is like a gain of at least 5 for most running backs. But Josh Allen is super fast, man. Like, that's some great acceleration there. Watch right there. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. This play is from the Saints just because it's one of my last plays I haven't shown. Kendra Miller has been playing really good. They just dump it down to him. He gets upfield. This is what I was kind of talking about, how when it comes, whether it's him or Kamara, it's going to come down to our linebackers making plays against these backs and these checkdowns. Carr will throw you some every once in a while. We take a look here. I mean, that's a bad throw. So you would think, with Jenkins and Cisco back there, Carr is going to throw up probably a couple of these that we're going to get. Not even in trouble there to throw it, but just a bad throw. Josh Allen is playing like Defensive Player of the Year candidate right now. That's true. Josh Allen has shocked me this year. He's been making me eat my words all season so far, and that's a good thing, right? Jag Juice, that's a good thing. I'm okay being wrong if it's like good for the Jags. What is stopping us from paying Josh Allen during the season rather than the offseason? A lot of players, I'm not saying this is true, but a lot of players don't want to engage in contract negotiations during the season. Could be Josh Allen. Guy says, I'm a big fan of getting young guys out there early in the year. Hopefully we can get a big dose of tank on Thursday. ETN's overworked. Yeah. Okay. Robert says the other Campbell balled out in preseason. Oh, you're talking about, was it Tavon Campbell? Or Tavon Campbell, right? The media isn't giving respect to Josh Allen. They don't give respect to anybody on the Jags. Josh had that play against the other Josh Allen where he got too far inside, and he still forced Josh. I remember that play for no gain. Josh Allen's been good, really, really, really good this year. Depoy, like someone else said. Yeah, if bulky low balls, he may get butt hurt. Wouldn't be good for us. Breaking news: Josh Allen's will be a offensive and defensive player of the year. Put Daniel Hunt on the other side, and we could have the best pass rush in the league. And move Trevon Walker inside. Did you not see the Clavon Chazon sack? XD or Colby? Jarrett Williams, gotcha, says, this time last year we wanted Mike Caldwell out of here. Glad to be wrong. I remember at a time, Jarrett, when I wanted Mike Caldwell as a head coach, and I thought he'd be a head coach somewhere, and I remember when we wanted him out of here. We've been through some ups and downs with Mike Caldwell, but I will say he has stepped it up this year. It's the same defense as last year. Obviously, Trevon Walker is taking a big step. Josh Allen's playing way better than last year. Devin Lloyd's healthy-ish. So, yeah, you're right. But the scheme's been different. They're blitzing a lot this year. Would you put Johnson in more to spell ETN? I wouldn't spell ETN unless we had to. He's what I would say our best player on offense. So I would keep him on the field as much as possible. Jags got, but honestly, D'Ernest Johnson's been playing really well. So ETN's just been really, really good. Will Sack Guru get another sack? Of course he will, 100 miles per hour. Dumb question. I don't say dumb question very often, 100 miles per hour. That one was a dumb question. Chazon got 2 pressures and 1 sack in the same play. Okay. Gotta end it on that because Shay's technically right. He did get 2 pressures and a sack in the same play. Oh, my goodness. Hey, had a great time with you boys tonight. Hopefully, you guys have a good time on Thursday. Anybody out at the beach, hit me up. You guys know I'll be out at the beach. You can message me on Twitter, Instagram. I'll be out at the beach watching the game at one of my favorite places, and I can give you more information on that if you hit me up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It helps. Tell a friend if you want. We will be back sometime this weekend, probably after the Thursday night game, maybe Friday, maybe Saturday. Maybe Saturday. We haven't done a Saturday show in a long time, so maybe we'll try to do that. I appreciate everybody that was here, seriously. A lot of channel members here. 100 miles per hour, Shay. We had Volkfang here earlier. We had, who else? Chandler Berger, Sea Breacher. A bunch of channel members. I appreciate it. Some of the usual commenters. Appreciate y'all as well. See you guys on Friday/Saturday. Hope to see a nice Jags win. Until then, go Jags.